of fire.
And by night, in a pillar of fire. What?
To give them light.
To give them light. To do what?
To go by day and night.
To go by both day and night. 22 says what?
He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day.
God didn't take away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor what?
Nor the pillar of fire by night.
Nor did he take away the pillar of fire at nighttime. What?
From before the people.
From before the people. So because of the relationship with Israel that God had, he was with them. He was their light during the day and at nighttime. It said he took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. So God showed them mercy and gave them, and that's the good thing about God, he gave them an avenue of escape. That's mercy. He gave them an avenue of escape. You get into a situation, God will open up a window for you to escape. But don't you be like that cuckoo bird and go back into that window. Once you get out of that window, stay out of that window. Let's think about the doctor. Thank God for his mercy. The doctor had told me some time ago, about 15 years ago, said, you're going to be dead and gone. Thank God for his mercy. How many of y'all love the mercy of God?
Amen. Yes.
Doctor said, you're going to be dead and gone. You keep on fasting. I said, so you expect me to stop fasting because you label me as a diabetic? Can't do that. I've been fasting all my life. Turn over to St. Matthew's. 14th chapter. Mercy is a blessing resulting from divine favor and compassion. Compassion. A blessing resulting from divine favor and compassion. As you said, mercy is my enduring relationship covering you. God's got you covered. As long as you're in a relationship with God, he's got you covered. You don't have to doubt. He's got you covered. St. Matthew's 14, look at the 13th verse beginning, says what?
When Jesus heard of it,
Jesus heard of it, he did what?
He departed thence by ship into a desert place.
To a desert place by ship, and did what?
And when the people had heard thereof, they followed him on foot out of the cities.
They followed Jesus out of the city. And what happened?
And Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude.
Jesus went forth and he saw a great multitude as he was on the ship. And what?
And was moved with compassion toward them.
He was moved with compassion. He had compassion on that great multitude that was following him. And did what?
And he healed their sick.
And he healed their sick. He had compassion on them. Mercy was showed unto them.
True.
And what did it say?
And when it was even.
When it was even, his what?
His disciples came to him saying, this is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitude away.
Send them away, that what?
That they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals.
So here it is, the disciples came and were making the statement that we need to send the people away so that they can go out and tend to themselves and get some food for themselves. But Jesus said what?
But Jesus said unto them,
what?
They need not depart.
They need not depart. Do what?
Give ye them to eat.
Give ye them to eat. And what?
And they said unto him.
And they say unto him.
We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes.
He said what?
He said, bring them hither to me.
Bring me those 5 loaves. Bring me those 2 fishes. Remember now, in that 14th verse, it said he had compassion towards them. And what did it say?
And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass.
He told the multitude, which was a very large multitude, To sit down on the grass and what?
And took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes. And looking up to heaven.
And he looked up to heaven.
He blessed.
He blessed the food. And what?
And break.
And
gave the loaves to his disciples.
Gave the loaves to disciples and what?
And the disciples to the multitude.
And the disciples gave it unto the multitude. And they did what?
And they did all eat.
And were what?
And were filled.
Hold on now. 5 loaves. 5 loaves and 2 fish. And this multitude did eat, and they were filled. Remember now, he had compassion. Mercy was showed unto them. And what's it say?
And they took up of the fragments that remained.
Now, here it is after they were filled. They took up fragments, leftovers, as we call them.
Leftovers.
And what?
That remained 12 baskets full.
12 baskets full did they take up of leftovers. 12 baskets full. And what?
And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men.
5,000 men.
Besides women and children.
5,000 men. Besides women and children. He had compassion. Mercy was showed to these 5,000 some people. I was thinking on Elder Mishaw, and he was often out in Washington, D.C., and he saw that there was a need for low housing, low-income housing. He looked over the people, I'm sure, and had compassion for the people that were out there in Washington, D.C. So went to the government, got assistance from the government, and went out and bought the land, and from what I understand, developed the first low-income housing. Was that just in D.C., or was that first low-income housing anywhere? In D.C. The first low-income housing in Washington, D.C., because he had compassion on the people. Mercy was showed to those people in Washington, D.C. that could not afford the prestigious houses, the expensive mortgages, and the high rent. Mercy was showed unto them. Mayfair Mansion was the name. Mercy was showed. So just like how Jesus had compassion as he looked out over the people, he healed their sick, and not only that, he fed them.
Amen.
Because of the relationship that Jesus had with God, mercy was showed unto those 5,000. Because of the relationship that Elder Mishaw had with God, mercy was showed unto those people in Washington, D.C. that could not afford the high mortgage payments, that needed a little bit of help, that wanted to live somewhere but couldn't afford it. Turn to Joshua, the 10th chapter.
Amen.
Joshua, the 10th chapter, begin right there at the 12th verse. It says what?
Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel.
He said, this was Joshua speaking. He said in the sight of Israel what?
Son,
stand
thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon.
Son, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon. Do what?
In the valley of Ajalon.
In the valley of Ajalon. I want you to stand still. Now here it is. He's speaking to the sun and the moon. Any of y'all ever tried speaking to the sun or the moon? My wife was telling me this morning. She said, you want to know something? I said, what's that? She said, on Thursday, I was driving to work